YouTubers, what's going on? What's popping? Just want to talk a little bit about what went on this week. Didn't do much. I did purchase some storage units this Wednesday. Um, and outside of that, I know that somebody I know, got a whole bunch of G.I. Joe stuff from one place, which is, it does kind of piss me off because I collect them, and the fact that I've been waiting and hoping that stuff like this come out for years. Every once in a while, you might come across a couple and or a G.I. Joe figure if you're lucky, and you do come across some vehicles, mainly vehicle parts. But for somebody to just get a couple of bags of like 1980s G.I. Joe, like the 3 3/4 G.I. Joes, is just like, it does get under your skin when you know that you collect them and this person's just gonna sell them. I mean, at the end of the day, I wasn't there, and the early bird catches the worm, but it still gets under your skin. It's just like when you go somewhere and you see a scalper walking off with a whole bunch of toys. They got there before you, but it's just the fact that you only want one item for you. But yeah, I mean, I guess everybody can rationalize what and how they do and what they think they're entitled to, regardless. Everybody have their own rationalizations on why this and why that, etc., etc. But it is what it is. On Monday, I did get this. Here it is. I just, I was just doing a lot of running around and a lot of stuff this week. And now I got to keep all these bags on me like I'm a damn bag lady because, everybody's doing away with this plastic, which is retarded due to the fact that this shit is made out of fucking plastic. This is this is what this stuff is made out of. I don't get it. It's recycled reinforced plastic. Is a reusable bag. What do you think this stuff is made out of? Like, they got companies now that are making clothes out of plastic recyclables. And it's funny because these recyclable plants, if you put out 3 bags of, like, for me, I'm in New Jersey, right? So they do recycling twice a month, every other week, every other Tuesday. You put out your recyclables. Now you realize if you put out 4 bags of plastic, 4 big garbage bags full of plastic, less than half of that one fucking bag really goes to being reused. Everything else goes to it gets wasted with all the other garbage. They don't want you to know that. Pizza boxes, all this stuff, it's what they call contaminated. It's contaminated plastic, contaminated cardboard. So it's a whole different process. And these plants, these companies, these waste management companies, they're scumbags. They're just as bad, if not even worse, than fucking insurance companies. Everybody loves you and want to kiss your ass when you give them money, but when it comes time to pay out, you're the fucking villain. And that's how a lot of these places are. And these garbage companies, these big tycoons, they pay billions of dollars to these other corporate Neanderthals and politicians that fucking pollute the earth, knows what's going on, don't give a fuck, and now you as a little person got paid for this shit. I mean, I don't think it's not wrong with them trying to get rid of plastic and all this stuff, but now it's like, now they want to go to paper. So so you take synthetic materials that you can do more with, but because it costs them an extra 10 to 25 cent for each contaminated item to be recycled, they just prefer to try to do away with all that, reuse the good shit to turn around and make that and make you pay for this now. Which is funny because the consumers pay for the bags that you get that you reuse, and they figure, you know what, people got a lot of reusable bags, so fuck it. Let's find another way to ban people from using that stuff, and then charge them as individuals. We'll charge the companies for these items, and then we'll charge the people. I mean, then they'll have to charge the people to buy this stuff so they can reuse it. Now, the irony is just funny because, again, this is fucking plastic anyway. And now it's like, okay, so now we're going to start using cardboard. So, you guys rather cut down and kill more fucking trees, and we already got problems with COVID and breathing. So, y'all do realize that, you need trees to breathe. You need trees for oxygen. We breathe out carbon monoxide because it's poison to us, and they breathe out what's poison to them, which is fucking oxygen. So trees breathe out oxygen, and they breathe in carbon monoxide. We breathe out carbon monoxide, and we breathe in oxygen. So that is a straight up fair trade for both sides. So the more trees you get rid of, the less we're able to fucking breathe. So either way you look at it, these big tycoons and Neanderthals are fucking up the planet either way you look at it. But anyway, that's a whole different thing because I can sit here and talk to you guys for hours. So anyhow, I just spent 5 minutes on ranting about recyclables. And, I mean, like I said, if I don't talk off the beaten path, I don't know who can. But anyway, I did get these things. I was able to grab this ultimate rock. If you smell what the rock is cooking. Yeah, I know I look terrible. I don't look nothing like the guy. I look like a fucking half gorilla. Anyhow, they did have the Batista. I do like Dave Batista, but I was never really much of a huge Batista, Randy Orton fan, none of that stuff. But I do like The Rock, and I always, and I do want to get the Ultimates. But just like wrestling figures, I am going after wrestling figures now. But I only want to get stuff that I personally gonna keep for myself, unless I get it unless I get it thrifting or at a garage sale real cheap, and I could probably make a couple bucks on it. But other than that, this is a guy that I would actually go out and buy. And I believe this is either my first or second Ultimate I've purchased. And the only reason why I did purchase this one is because it's The Rock. You know what I mean? So lay it to smacketh down on your candy ass. So that's the dude right there. I would have liked it better if they did more of the SmackDown Attitude era of him. Before he got the full Samoan tattoo on his chest, especially right before he went completely, like, he shaved his hair off. That's The Rock I really, really like. I like him anyway. You know what I mean? I like Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, either way you put it. But it's the SmackDown era Rock I really, really like. You know what I mean? That's my ish. Just like the Undertaker, I want to get an Ultimate Undertaker, but I want to get the Ultimate black and gray or black and purple. You know what I mean? I'm not really a fan. I like Undertaker. Period. Mark Calloway, he's just the man. Mark Callis, whatever character he is. But if I'm gonna spend that kind of money on an Undertaker figure, I prefer him old school black and gray or black and purple Taker. That's just. I don't really want the dead man and all that other stuff. I just want the iconic Undertaker look. That's just me personally. And I am trying to go for like the older wrestling figures, like guys from like the real WWF Saturday shows. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff. And this guy, I only really got this Edge. There is another one where he's like, I think he's the Chase or variant, and he has red stockings. Red leggings or pants, what we want to call it, than white. But the only reason why I did get him, I wouldn't mind, but if I can get the Dudley Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy with him and Christian, you got all the chairs, ladders, and tables, or chairs, tables, and ladders, what we want to call it. You have everybody like that originated and started that whole thing again. The SmackDown era Attitude shit was just the shit. I think I was like the pinnacle of where I really, really start liking it. I think that's for everybody from like, I would say from 2000 up until like maybe 2006, 7 is when I really, really like wrestling. Once it started getting into like 8, 9, 10, I lost more interest because it was like the same repetitiveness, and now it's like they got AEW and all this crazy. I can't follow it now. Every time I try to watch it, I fall asleep. I get bored, and it's just not for me. You know what I mean? But I only got this one because I figured since I already have Road Dogg, China, and Mark Callis, I was like, you know what? I might as well just complete this series 14. I might as well just complete the 4 of them. Since I can still get my hands on him, so that's basically the only reason why I got him. And I paid retail for him. There's this one white dude that does come to the Meadowlands from New York. I forgot what part of New York he's from. I don't remember if it's upstate New York or Long Island. I don't think it's anywhere in the far boroughs. And I keep trying to school him and tell him that his prices are too high out here in New Jersey, because I was like, dude, we have a lot more Walmarts and Targets spread out than anywhere in New York. You know what I mean? And I was like, and on top of that, people out here in this flea market are a lot more thrifty and cheap compared to New York. And he said, "Oh yeah, but I sell." I said, "I understand it, but you know, you gotta remember, like, you get a lot more people here that can walk into almost any Target almost at will and get mass majority of everything you got on this table." You know what I mean? I keep telling him that, but it's like, you know, it goes, you know, hey, you can lead the water, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink, right? Because he's always complaining about money, but whatever. But we'll get to that in a second. And then this, which is funny because like maybe about almost a month ago, these are the stuff like this. I would prefer to pick up all of it at one time because I hate hunting for this one thing. But now since I found this one, now I'm not gonna find the other two. And it's funny because the other two of the Puppet Masters, I actually like the Puppet Master movie. And of course, you know, Tunneler is my favorite. He got the cone with the drill on his head. He's my favorite out of all four of them. And I do like Puppet Masters. You know, it's actually a cool movie. It's a B movie, but really, really cool. And I did come across the other one. I was like, I'll wait. Because I saw it and I was like, I'll find it. And they're hard to find. So it's ironic how they had two of these and it was the same exact one. Which is the two of these dudes. So you got Tunneler and Pinhead. You guys can see it there. And it's funny because the same Target had the other ones during the Target Haulathon about a month ago. And I kept looking back at it like maybe I should just buy it. If I'd have brought it, I would have had both sets. So now I gotta try to find that one specific set because I believe this is the harder one to find out of the two box sets. And now since I got this one, watch, it's gonna be difficult for me to find that one. I mean, it's just funny how irony is, man. So yeah, this is what I got on Monday. I got these the two wrestlers, and again, they did have Dave Bautista. And I left him behind because again, I don't have a problem with Dave Bautista, but I'm only picking up wrestlers unless they're on sale, and I'm just gonna hold on to them to resell them, or if I want one for myself, or if I want something for myself. Only reason, and that's and I got Edge because I will have the whole Series 14. You know, if I do come across him in his store hanging up with the red pants, then I'll pick that one up too because that'll be the variant. And that way I'll still have the whole complete series of 14 because you know that when you have a complete wave of something, it's worth more. Even though if it's a crappy figure, but that's just toys. So let's see what I got here. I got two. Interesting. Yeah, the bag cost me 99 cents. The two wrestlers was so the Rock was $32.99, Edge was $19.99, and then the NECA, the Puppet Masters, I can't even think. That was also $32.99. So yeah, that's what I paid for that crap. And I should have went to garage sales today. But I wound up staying because I took the dog with me, so I wound up just walking around like 3 or 4 times, you know, giving him the exercise and trying to strengthen up my foot. I even brought a pair of nice, like military green Adidas Tubulars. Actually, yeah, just to help my foot because you know, don't wear Jordans too much because like they're not really that comfortable, and the fact that I you know, I'm still trying to recover from that 2-bone fracture. Severe ankle. My ankle was fine, but you know, with the fractures are worse than and just as bad as breaks because they can be easily manipulated to actual break or refracture because it's basically a break. It's not a clean break, but it is a crack in the actual bone. It's like having a cracked glass versus, you know, something impelling through the glass. It's the same shit. Just about, because you know when something's cracked, it only gets worse if it's not fully healed. So I walked around a couple times, and after that, I wound up leaving. I wound up getting back home exactly around maybe 10:15, and I left around. I got there exactly at 6:45. So from 6:45 to around 10. So almost 3 hours. No, almost 4 hours. Just a little over 3, as a matter of fact. So I took the dog with me, and I was walking around, talking to people and trying to get some deals. And I got some stuff. Tony had a couple of things. Not my Tony, not the Tony that I'm real cool with, but another Tony. I call him Macaroni Tony. He's an older guy like me. Weird at times, but I got a couple things from him. Some stuff I left down in the basement because I didn't think it was equivalent to this video. 2 of them were boxed. I think they're like the boxed 12-inch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie by Michael Bay. I can't remember. I think one was probably Leonardo, and maybe the other one was probably Donatello. And I told him, I said, well, if you come across the other 2, hold them for me until next week. But they were boxed, like they were still on package, so that's why I took the 2 of them. Unfortunately, it'd have been better if he had all 4 of them, but he didn't. He had some other stuff, so I wound up getting American Girl doll, that stuff. So I basically paid $80 for everything from him. The American Girl doll, those 2, and some miscellaneous wrestling stuff. And so let's go into that. So first of all, might as well start with this guy. This is not from him. This is from this other dude. I think he was like European. Him and his wife, sometimes they hit or miss. I don't personally like Jack's Pacific stuff, but this is Viscera. I don't know what it's going for, but I said, yo, the guy wants like $15, maybe, or 20. Maybe I'll try to talk him down to 10 or 15. So I asked him. He had this and some other crappy figure. I don't remember if it was a wrestler or just some random superhero, but it was crappy though. And I asked him, I was like, well, how much those figures there? And he asked his wife, and I don't know if it was Russian or Ukraine. I don't know what it was. I just know it was foreign, and I know they were definitely European. I actually don't even see this one. It's not coming up. Viscera's not coming up. I don't know if they know the price of it. And I'm scanning it, but it's not. He's not coming up. So let me type in Jack's Pacific. I don't like the Jack Pacific stuff, but there are some Jack Pacific wrestling figures that are bred. Ring Rage. Ring Rage Viscera, right? I believe didn't Viscera die? He's a big ass dude, very scary looking guy. Yeah, see, I'm seeing him. I don't see him on card though. I'm only seeing him loose. And let me see what they sell for. Yeah, see, Jack Pacific, Viscera, Ring Rage, $14.99, but that's outside the package. I can't find one. He has another one, 2005, Ruthless Aggression, Ring Rage, Series 16.5. Excuse me, $16.99. Oh, here you go. There's one right there. So he's $35. So yeah. So he did sell for $35. I know who Viscera is, so I just automatically assumed that even if they wanted $20-25 for it, I just automatically assumed that he had to be worth at least that, especially, considering the fact that they only wanted $5. It's because he asked his wife, I'm assuming that's his wife, in their language, and I was like, well, what are you asking on the figures? And he said, and he pointed to them, and I was like, yeah. Any one of them. I didn't want to specify on this one, because sometimes when you specify on one item, they automatically know and don't think it's worth money. I didn't know much about it. I knew it was Jack Pacific the closer I got to looking at it, because I had the dog with me, so I didn't want him to go in the guy's spot. And he said what he said. Then I guess she repeated back to him. He said $5, and I said, all right, I'll take that one, the black guy. And he just looked at me, and we both laughed because we caught it, on me being black. It was just funny. So I didn't really know what he's worth, but I figured he had to be worth at least 2 or 3 times more than I figured he had to be at least worth $15-20 all day, because it's Viscera. And they don't make. I don't know. They don't. I don't think they make. I don't think they make too many of him. I mean, he's not the nicest looking guy in the world, but you know, and he's a big dude, man. He's a real tall freaking guy because he's basically around the same height as the Undertaker. Undertaker's like 6'9", 6'10". So he's a big dude, and you know, I did like Viscera. You know what I mean? So pretty dope. So it's not for me to. It's for me to sell, not for me to keep. So I'm gonna hold on to it. It was only worth $34, but I mean, you know, but whatever. All right, and then this is the stuff I got from Macaroni Tony. So I got this and some loose figures, and he had these just sitting there. These are Mattel. You got Diego and Farouk. I don't know what they're worth, but I paid $15 for both of them. Well, the original price was $15. And, you know, Tony's the kind of person, just like me, he likes selling stuff in bundle. And so do I. And I don't mind buying in bundle, neither. You know what I mean? As long as I get a good deal. So I paid, altogether, I paid $80 for everything. So let's see what Diego goes for. One thing about me is I try to do a lot of research on stuff just because I don't like it when people scan stuff in front of me. Because then that makes you want to scan. And then especially if somebody scans something, now you automatically know they're a reseller. So if they turn around and be like, okay, I'll take it, then you're like, So you're like, you know what I'm saying? So that makes you start getting aware of stuff. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's better to kind of know what you're buying and just take a risk than to just go ahead and be like, okay. You know what I mean? Because then it kind of opens up somebody else. And I don't know why this is showing up. So the Farouk is a Elite Flashback. But I'm scanning this and something totally different is coming up. So let me type in Mattel Elite. I like Farouk too. I like him at JBL. Farouk. He just got that, you know, he don't play around look. Oh, they spell it with 2 A's. Let's see what he sells for. Okay, so he sells for $50. Sold for $50. I don't know if you guys can see because of the glare. I'm sorry if you can't. I mean, I figure he was worth a couple bucks. I mean, he's not in the best condition as far as box goes. And you know, Tony did have a lot of toys. I mean, he was putting stuff out. One thing about him is like he takes his time doing stuff. He does things weird. He's a weird guy who does things weird. But yeah, it says here, yeah, APA protection. Oh wow, that Macho Man would be cool. So you know they made a Bradshaw too. That'd be kind of dope to get the Bradshaw because you have both of them. That's like $100 to $150 just because you have both APA guys. But you know, Farouk is my favorite out of the two. But I would like to get my hands on the Bradshaw. So he's worth anywhere from $15 to $30 alone. People asking like $50 to $60 for him, or what he actually sold for. This is Diego. So Diego actually sold for around between $15 to $30. He's all day. I'm looking at all of it. Everything sold for around $50. So that's $65 right here. And the American Girl doll, I'll just add her to my stuff. So I would say she's probably worth about, I'll say at least $30. He charged me $15 for her, and then he broke everything else down. So, but the two turtles, he said it had to be $20 each on it. So 20 on that each, that's 40. 40 and 15 is 55. 55 and 15 is 70. And then you got this bag of stuff here. Let me just put them out here so I can show you guys. So he just charged me $10 for these guys here. So I think this is Baron Zemo. I'm hoping this is the way he's supposed to be. We got Scarlet Spidey, and we got the one of the first Avengers. I about to say Hulks, Captain America. Then we got 2 Elite figures. I think this is Macho Man. I got it because it looked like Macho Man. I just got to do some more research on it. And I think this is Christian. They're both elites. I think that is a. I never seen Macho Man with gold on, and it looked like he got some kind of African print. But I'm gonna take a guess and say that's Macho Man. Ooh, Macho King. Oh yeah. So you got these 2, and you got these 3. So this was $10. He charged me. So 10 and 70 is $80. Wasn't gonna argue that. You know what I mean? Definitely a good deal. So again, you got Scarlet Spider-Man. Baron Zemo, I think that's Baron Zemo. It might just be his. No, it's not his head. It's actually that's the doll. And then you got this Cap, and he does come with the shield. Well, I had to grab the shield. And this stuff he got in the room. This stuff was actually like these people really love their kids. Their kids had a lot of toys. Normally, I mean, over time of me just buying and selling at the Meadowlands and at Columbus, I'm getting very picky with the toys I pick up now. They did have some stuff I normally would have took everything when I did go, I think, Thursday. Or was it Friday? It was yesterday? Was it yesterday I went? I don't know, Thursday or Friday, whatever damn day I did go to Red, White, and Blue. I know they took everything they had, including some board games, but I have since stopped a lot of stuff because I'm really just trying to go after stuff that if I do decide to start going to toy shows, that's the stuff I'm going to pick up. Stuff I see there, unless it's retro, old, vintage stuff. I have soon got rid of a lot of my video game stuff. Wasn't going to play them. I don't really care about what the stuff is worth. I got most of that stuff is on this. You can't see it right here, but right here where my finger is underlining, that is Xbox 360, the original one that somebody did a horrible job painting it. But I did pay for this. I think I brought that in 2015 or 16. Some dude came all the way from the Bronx to my house in Queens. And this has a lot of emulators on it, a lot of games and stuff. I used to play this all the time, but I was like, you know what? I got most of the shit on that. So I did keep a couple of systems. And I have everything in the Nintendo cabinet. So I kept the box Zelda 64 game and a Super Mario Brothers. I kept one Nintendo 64, the regular one that comes with the Atomic Purple. I kept the XD Pokemon GameCube, and that one has the Game Boy player on the bottom of it. That's not boxed though. I also kept the blue Toys R Us exclusive Pikachu Nintendo 64, not boxed. I kept the original Nintendo 64 with the Mario game and the control deck, which is the slim version of the Super Nintendo as well. And then I kept the Power Set Nintendo box and a top-loading Nintendo, no box. And I also kept my 3DS XL Nintendo controller system. And I have everything in here. And of course, I have a couple of Nintendo Switches. I have a couple of Nintendo Switches. I have the gray, pink, blue Switch Lite Pokemon, and I have the Mario Nintendo Switch, and of course, I got the new OLED Switch. Other than that, that's all I got. Oh, and I have the blue PS Vita. I got rid of PSP because the Vita is a better system than a PSP, and I think you can still emulate and put PSP games on the Vita, which I am gonna have somebody do sooner than later. So I am keeping that Vita. I might just have somebody customize that because the Vita, I love the Vita, and I'm into shooters, and they have a lot of nice Japanese imported shooters. So that's something I'm gonna keep. So anyway, getting to this stuff. This is all I got today. I did get one more wrestler, and that's from the guy I was talking about that I was saying that I keep trying to tell him that his prices are a little too high for Jersey because he's asking like toy show prices for this stuff, and I'm like, dude, that's like not really smart, you know. And I keep trying to explain to him, and he's always complaining, oh, it's slow today. How's it for you? And I'm like, well, I said, and I keep telling him, bro, you know, it's slow for you because, no offense, man, but you're asking too much money for these things. And I keep telling you that, you know, these guys out here, you know, like these people out here, bro, they, you know, like, it's easier that, you know, like there's a lot more stuff spread out in Jersey than it is in New York City. You know, you could only go, like, you might go to some places, there'll be a Target, but there won't be a Walmart. You know, out here, you know, you can go across the highway and get, and, you know, one town might have two. You know what I mean? And some towns might have a Walmart and Target next to each other. And I said you have a better chance of getting more stuff there than you will here in New York, even out in the island. You know, and he agreed with me. And he's like, yeah, but you know, I mean, I get it. I said, yeah, but you're complaining. And I told him this morning, and he's had this stupid look on his face, and I'm repeatedly telling him the same thing because he's repeatedly complaining, and I'm trying to explain to him, bro, like, you know, but you know the figure I'm going to show you right now, I almost lost my train of thought. He wanted 50 for it, and I was like, dude, I'll give you 40, and he took it because you know he only paid 20 for it, so you know. $19.89 for it, but I didn't want to take the chance, and I was like, well, if I do come across it, I'll just buy another one and hold on to it because I know it's gonna be money. One thing you know, and you know, it is what it is, so you know, and that's this guy, and I picked it up because he's one of my, you know, I like the Howard Foundation, and he's the excellence of execution. So that's self-explanatory. Survivor Series, Bret Hitman Hart. I don't remember if I did ever see this at the toy show. I probably did 2 weeks ago. Probably didn't. I couldn't remember. I couldn't even tell you. This does have a girl named Bailey and some Kenneth Lee guy. So I'm guessing these are somewhat new. It says 2021. So it says Elite Collections, True FX, Lifelike Details. It does look like him. I like how they gave him a little pouch because, you know, he has good size on him, but he's not like, you know, he's a little more cut up and have more definition and a little bit more slimmer in tone than his brother-in-law Avilhart, but at the same time nowhere near as diesel muscular as his late brother-in-law Davey Boy Smith. I would like to see a Owen. That would be pretty dope too, but you know, this is pretty cool. He even gave him the pink chair. I mean, if there was one guy outside of me that can pull off hot pink, it's him. I love wearing pink. Looks really good against my complexion, and I like wearing pink. People say real men wear pink. It's a color. You wear what the hell you want to wear. As long as you are one with your own sexuality, who gives a flying crap what people think? Because people are always going to have their own opinion on you anyway. And 9 out of 10, more in a negative way than in a positive. Because that's just how people are. People hate. But, you know, I normally wouldn't pay that. But I was like, you know what? It's Bret Hitman Hart. There are certain figures that if somebody does have, I would pick up. And he was one of them. I was like, all right, $40, no problem. The only other figure in this wave I would like to get my hands on is that Hulk Hogan. That's it. So, you know, it is what it is there. So, other than that, real quick, I did purchase some stuff last week. So, I do want people to be aware of this seller. They do have a big feedback, but I'm a little upset because excuse me. UPS didn't ring my bell, knock on the door hard enough, whatever. Either way you look at it, it's the seller's responsibility to make sure that they secure the buyer's product. Whether, you know, you make sure that it's protected enough to where when you ship it, if something comes to me broken, it's your problem because you should have shipped it properly, especially if I'm paying for shipping. Or even if you say, hey, I'm giving you free shipping, it's still your responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure my item gets to me in my hand. Best way to do that is to make sure you do signature confirmation. These people didn't do that. I think they just decided to keep more money in their pocket for shipping, which is what they did. And it showed it was delivered. So I reached out to them, no response. So on Friday, I got fed up, and like midday Friday, I reached out again and I opened a claim. I opened up 2 of them. And then today I got home and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait until the evening and see if I get another reply. Never got another reply back from these people. So I got upset and I was like, you know what? Okay. So now I explained to them what I was gonna do. Like right here, it says another request. So I did 3 requests so far. So technically, in order for eBay to get involved, each item has to be requested. That's the new law. And so the lady, she's like, you know what? Since you did the other 3, and I'm reading your notes, and I see you did everything properly, I'm gonna go ahead and submit the other 2 requests, making it 5 because I purchased 5 lots. Now here, it says here. Now before I didn't request a refund. I just requested my items. I wanted what I paid for. And so here I tried reaching out with no one contacting me. So it goes on and on here. So I was very respectful about what I said and how I said it. And this is basically my 3rd time reaching out doing a request. The other 2 times were for my items. Now I'm to the point where I'm just disgusted and I just want a refund. Because I will never deal with these people again. Now, the seller ID is toyscout2. So if you guys and I'm not gonna sit here. I mean, it is their fault that I didn't get it in my hand because with what I paid for this stuff, I should have gotten. I should have definitely. I mean, they should have definitely did signature required, even if they lost $1 or 2 on the back end, just to make sure that people get their stuff. I mean, you should do that because I lost money on shipping that way just to make sure that people got the stuff. But you still make up on what you sell the stuff for. Now I'm going to show you the stuff that I'm going to tell you the stuff that I've purchased. And the reason why I'm upset about this is because it cost me $400 and something bucks. I paid $400. I'm looking at it right now. I paid $424.78 for these items. Now one item, and I realized everything came in one box because all 5 items has one tracking number. So first thing here, it says B741. I don't know what the hell that means. Vintage 80s Hasbro G1 Transformers Hunger robot complete. He was $57, but and then right under it has B744. I don't know what that stuff will mean. 1980s G1 Transformers Compotron robot complete. That one I paid $175 for it. I paid exactly $174.50. So I was literally like 50 cents under $175 what I paid for that. And the other one will be G1 Transformers Blot, Ripper Snapper, Center Twin, and Cutthroat. Now mind you, you got here 4 of them. It doesn't say complete though, but I looked at the picture, and I was studying the picture, and I was like, you know what? Okay, they got to be complete because I looked at everything. It does have like 2 instruction manuals instead of 4, but I know there's 5 guys that complete these, and the other guy I already bid on. So I was like, okay, if I get these 4 and the other dude, I should have a complete what his damn name is. You know what I mean? Now mind you, I already have these guys, but I like having 2 of everything when it comes to like combiner transformers, because I like to have one in robot mode and then another one in combiner mode. And then somewhere along the line, if I come across other parts and I could put them all in their alternate mode, I would do that as well. That way I could display them in 3 modes: individual robot mode, alternate mode, and combiner mode. You know what I mean? So those are the 3 transformer lots that I purchased. Now this lot with these 4 guys was $56. So that 56 and 57. Because Hungar makes up the other robot, the 5th one to combine them. So that would be $113 just, and that's cheap. $113 for a combiner is very cheap. So you figure $285 is what I basically paid for 2 combiner G1 Transformers, which is cheap. Because because they both go for almost 200 to over 200 each, especially complete. So that was pretty dope. And then the other thing here is a 1990s G.I. Joe Ninja Lightning and Star Force with sci-fi complete. So I do have this sci-fi, but I know that vehicle that he comes with, the Starfire, is kind of expensive. And he does have it complete. And I was like, okay. And I only paid $46 for that. Then last but not least, you have a very hard to find piece, which is the 1990s G.I. Joe Battle Shark 9000. Up here they put 2000, but it's actually the 9000. That's what it's called. And it comes with cutter, but it says near complete. I don't know what's missing off this. But, you know, this was $30 and the other one was $46. So everything, you know, with all that stuff combined, and the shipping, I want to pay $424.78. Now, I'm not sitting here defaming or disrespectfully slandering these people. I'm just letting you guys know, be very careful if you buy from them. And if you do buy from them, do yourself a favor and request signature confirmation. So, again, their name is toyscout2. That's TOYSCOUT, number 2. All one word, one letter. There's no space between Toy Scout and 2. So again, I'm gonna give you that stuff again in abbreviation. T for Tom, O for Oscar, Young for Young. I mean Y for Young, excuse me. S for Sam, C for Cat, O for Oscar, U for Under, T for Tom again, number 2. So that's Toy Scout 2. So if you guys, anybody out there does buy from them, I'm not going to sit here and say their prices aren't cheap. I could probably actually even tell you where they're located, just in case. Because again, I'm not trying to defame them or slander them and stuff like that. That's not what I do. But at the same time, I do want to protect people out there. So you guys out there would know what's going on. You guys, it's very important for you to realize who you're dealing with. I can't see it. I don't see it up here. But again, it's Toy Scout 2. So if you do purchase from them, just be very wary that, you know, they contacted me, I think Thursday evening, because when I realized that the package did show delivered, I wasn't really that worried. I just want them to check on it for me and let me know by Friday morning, the latest. Because, you know, there's been plenty of times where me and my family, people in my household, have purchased stuff and it came through the United States Postal Service, and they'll say, oh, it was delivered, and then they'll deliver it later on that day or the next day. I don't know why this system does that, but I figured maybe that was the same thing in this thing. So I wasn't really that nervous. More anxious than nervous, knowing that that's what I had got it. But I was like, all right, they'll deliver it tomorrow. Never happened. So, but I wanted to let them know so they can say, hey, you know, why it showed delivery and it didn't. And then maybe they will reach out back to me because they would give a shit that, you know, hey, this person purchased from me. They paid real quick, and what's going on with this person's item? Because that's what I would do. Never did so. Didn't reach out, and I am upset about that. Or they probably did reach out, and I don't remember what the hell they reached. I don't remember what they said, but it wasn't that helpful yesterday, and today it was like crickets. I didn't hear nothing from the people, so I was like, you know what, these bastards are like, all right, well, fuck it. I got his money. It showed delivery, case closed. Nah, that's not the way it goes. It's your responsibility. Always remember that. If you out there selling or you plan on selling, keep in mind, make sure you protect yourself and protect your buyer. Because again, you know, when you sell stuff to somebody, especially if a person's a quick buyer or they pay quick, that could be a potential customer. And then, you know, word of mouth moves around. Hey, buy from this person. They cool, they good quality, yada, yada, yada. But sometimes people don't think outside the box. They just think for the then and now. They think about the now. They don't think about the later on in the future. You know what I mean? And that's stupid because it's like, you don't know me from Adam. I don't know you from Adam. But at the same time, I paid you for delivery, and you haven't such. As a matter of fact, what do they, I think they have a big. Let me see. What exactly is Toy Scout here? They got 99.99 positive feedback. They got 16,648 stars. So it's not like they don't know what the hell they're doing. They got 18 neutrals. Let's see what the neutrals say. Alright, so here you have a 1990s Mac Tools Collectors Club 119 scale pro stock bike. $13.50. The wheelie bars didn't match the bike. Another one right under that, it's missing the air cleaner. It's a vintage 1970s, 80s pressed steel Mighty Tonka dump truck. Very poor packaging, could have damaged the pennant during shipping. Seller got lucky this time. A vintage 1966 Greenway Productions, the Green Hornet pennant. Here's another one. Robot was a bit more scratched up than pictured. Open face packaging was littered and discarded candy wrappers. In decent condition overall, but could have been cleaned up before shipping. And this was a 1990s Treadmasters Lost in Space robot. Here's another one, and these are the past month to 6 months. The package was well packed and sent quickly. However, the item was not as described. It said that it was complete and the items were still in sealed bags. One of the bags had been cut open and a minifig was missing. Additionally, it was evident that the set had not been stored in a climate-controlled environment, as many other pieces were brittle and broke while I was putting the sets together. And it says Marvel Superheroes The Hulkbuster Smash Lego set. NAS would not display correctly. Vintage Nintendo NES console with accessories. Be sure to ask detailed condition questions. Doll dress damage beyond repair, not shown in photos. Doll description was fair. Play condition, but is very poor. And that is a 1960s Ideal Tony Red hair 15-inch P90 doll. Left and right wheels tires do not match. One pair didn't fit. Arrived loose in the box. 1960s vintage Matchbox near mint K5 king size racing car transporter. Cards were 100% counterfeit, but I doubt they knew when they sent. Why bother for $10? Question mark. Vintage 1981 flares, hair's bow, trading cards, complete set. I didn't even know they bootleg shit from like that. Got almost everything described in lot, missing missing the very piece I was really buying auction for. Contacted seller several times, explained not looking for refund because I was able to use all of the other pieces. Just wish better communication and some adjustments on the toy lot. Rather money or similar product. TY, God bless. X32 vintage 1980s Marvel Comics Secret Wars Daredevil Kang Magneto vehicle. My set arrived missing pieces. It took over 2 weeks to get my complete order. Vintage 1970s Kenner Star Wars Droid Factory set with 3-leg R2-D2 in original box. That sold for $177.50. Product was fine as described. Shipping costs too high for an item I have gotten in the past from other sellers at much lower cost. USPS told me oversized, so that was also contributed to the cost. Nevertheless, poorly packed with crumbled brown paper. Vintage American Flyer, Ringling Bros, and Barnum and Bailey billboard with box. There's another one. The engine does not run. The logo is missing the post to attach the tender. The decals on the stock car fell off. The items were more than used. They were abused. Vintage HO scale, train steam engine number 41544 tender crane car, etc. Everything else came except for my Charlie's Angels lunchbox. Where is it? All that money in shipping. Vintage 1970s Aladdin Charlie's Angels metal lunchbox. Wow. Packing this comic in a bag box with paper stuffing did a pretty good number on the comic spine. Sure would have preferred a proper comic mailer. Vintage 1970s Marvel's Comics Spider-Woman #5. A plus seller, vintage 1970s tin little wound up clockwork motorcycle with sidecar. Very misleading. I'm not returning it because I only paid $13.50 for it. However, the seller made no mention of having locomotive shells with no motor in it. Also listed engine have not been tested, knowing very well there was no engine, just shells. Vintage 1960s 70s Tyco HO scale train set, Union Pacific engine. And last but not least, you have one of the nicer figures arrived with a broken leg, but still in decent lot of figures. Huge vintage 1980s 90s action figure lot, Marvel, DC, wrestlers, Star Wars, etc. $44. So obviously there's a lot of consistencies on them not being very specific on people are not happy with the way they ship stuff, and some people are not happy with their descriptions on stuff. And it's kind of scumbaggish when you think of a come on, like, you guys know what the fuck y'all doing. Like, 16,648 feedback, 99.9 positive feedback. Like, you guys know that was just neutral. They got over 10,602 positives. But again, there's always the negatives and neutrals people look at. That's the first thing people go to. I got a lot of that. Now here's the you got 7 negatives. Lied in the ad that shipping is combined in multiple purchases and blamed the buyer for this. 1960s, 70s Aurora T-Jet white Chaparral 2F slot car working. They got a lot of other stuff down here. Hold on. What it says: unfortunately, the customer brought one item, paid for it, including shipping, but brought another item minutes later and paid for it separately, including shipping as well as eBay, whatever. Blah 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 blah. Now, next one, it says the seller doesn't combine shipping like it says in their ad and wants buyer to do their job of contacting eBay for them. Shame on you, and you need to change your ad information. I believe that because it seems like they like taking your freaking money and saying fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a vintage 1960s, 70s Aurora T-Jet blue and white Ford J slot car, lighted works. And it says, yeah, pieces of shit, man. I would never buy from them again. This stuff was junky, not good. And I mean, damn, it seems like it's all over the place, man. And this was a vintage 1950s diecast Hubley rodeo cap gun vest, Roy Rogers badge, etc. There's another one. I had to replace her warped arm when she arrived. When I contacted the seller, she said I should not have fixed her and would not agree to a small portion refund. See, you got it sounds like some kind of country fat hick woman. And I hate to say, but a lot of women, when it comes to like doing business with, especially on eBay, they're nastier than the men. They are very nasty, very money hungry, and a lot of them are like these heavy set, nasty, ugly looking people. You know what I mean? Not to say that it makes them. It's just disgusting. And here it says vintage 1950s Rogue Jeanette baby doll, excellent shape with original box. So how you gonna put excellent shape knowing that the box is fucked up? These people, they're pieces of shit. Here's another one. Poor communication, does not respond to messages. Overall unsatisfied with purchase. I mean, if that's not true. 1980s Kenner mask Raven with Calhoun Burns with box. What they failed to say is that they bid on these items in the last hour and their only communication was trying to back out of their bid. Okay, so these ones, so the stuff under here is the reply back from these people. Okay, now I get it. Alright, so that's what it is. Avoid lowest possible quality comics, poorly packed together in sandwich bag, not worth throwing away. 1980s vintage Mattel Masters of the Universe mini comic set of 5. Well, when this buyer messaged us about his order, we apologized, offered a full refund, including shipping, and thanked them for their business. Did not get any response, just a negative. Seemed really odd until I clicked on his feedback from my PC. Clicked feedback, left for others, and realized he has left near 200 negative feedbacks for sellers. So either he is unlucky as eBayer. Oh man, that's crazy. And they wrote more, but whatever. And then it says here, item came with broken screen, lens on screen, and gray line fade, and on one right side, vintage PlayStation, PSP Darth Vader system with case and games, $107.50 they paid. Now their reply was, this system worked when we listed it, so it must have gotten damaged in the shipping process. Well, obviously it must have got damaged if you guys don't ship shit right. We always offer a full money back guarantee, so it is a little odd that this buyer left negative feedback without ever telling us about the issue or requesting a refund, which we would gladly have done, as we always take care of our customers. I'm starting to believe that's bullshit, because I did not get no replies back. I got one smart aleck, kind of like half smart aleck reply, I think on Friday. I think either on the same night on Thursday or something like that. Oh, it showed delivered or some shit like that. And that was it. So, again, they got 16,649 feedback. And this is all in the past, the last 12 months, they got 99.9%. So that's pretty good. That's almost 100. You know, again, I'm not taking nothing away from Toy Scout 2, but, and to be honest, I'm not the kind of person that really goes on negative and neutral. But it does happen, and you're going to get a lot of people that are dissatisfied. And to be honest, you know, in 6 months, they got 11 neutrals and 3 negatives. In 1 month, they got 2 neutrals, no negatives. In 12 months, impressively, out of 10,610 positive feedbacks, they only got 18 neutrals in 12 months and 7 negatives in 12 months. So that's impressive. You know what I mean? I am a little upset because they didn't reply back. You know what I mean? That's what's really getting me upset, is the fact that you have this much feedback. You got over 16,000 feedback, which means you've been up here since 2008. There's no way on God's green earth you don't know that you should always do delivery confirmation. Because once somebody signs for something, that means that it exchanged hands. Everybody on earth know that you can go to YouTube, Facebook, and see a lot of criminals and pieces of shit stealing packages. Of people look for Amazon, United States Postal Service, UPS, FedEx. What's the other one? There's another one. Oh man, they're known for that shit too. I can't remember the name right now. But a lot of these companies, they got people that drive around behind these people and pick up packages. They wait for people not to come to the door and they grab stuff. And they all know this. It's disgusting that people do this shit. But you know that. Why would you not pay? And it's like, I don't even know what the hell I paid for the shipping. But I don't know how big the box is, what's coming in it. Oh, I mean, I know what's coming in it, but I don't know how they packaged it. I don't know how big the box is, what the box weighs. I don't know any of that. All I know is I paid for something, and I should have gotten it, and it showed delivered. But because it's your responsibility, if something comes broken and you sell it to me, it's your responsibility to make sure it gets to me safely. Whether I paid a lot, a little bit, or nothing for shipping. If we have an agreement and if you decide to give free shipping, that's still your responsibility. It's your responsibility, to make sure that individuals get their items. It's your responsibility to make sure the items arrive safe, undamaged, and secure. It's your responsibility to make sure it goes from you to the facility, from the facility to whatever other hands that it needs to get to before it gets to that person's doorstep. And when it gets to that person's doorstep, it's your responsibility up until that person take ownership. Person can't take ownership for nothing unless they're there to receive it. And with that basically being said, Toy Scout 2, shame on you. I understand you guys got a lot of great feedback. It's not even really 1% negative or neutral when you think about the fact that you guys have almost 20,000 positive feedbacks. That's a good thing. But it doesn't matter. The whole point of the matter is the more customers you have and the more you take care of people, the better your chances are of making more money, and the more word of mouth moves around. And I'm just upset at the fact that, evidently you guys do have lack of communication. I don't know how this stuff is shipped because I never bought from you before. I never got my package. And it's sad that I had to go through eBay. Like, the items would have been left on Thursday. So now I got a missing package, and I paid over $400 for stuff I didn't receive. So I don't care if I paid $20 or $40 for it. I paid you guys $400 and something for something I never got. And the fact that you Neanderthals didn't even turn around and reply back. I mean, I had to go through eBay. So that means another person neutral was right, because I actually had to do that. I had to call eBay. It shows here, delivered on 5/12/2022. I have the tracking number here. Now, the tracking information on the computer says delivered. That's all it says. Now, when I called it up and put in the tracking number, it shows left at front door. Now, mind you, I don't have I'm not in a building where you could take a package, put it in between the foyer from the entrance and exit of the building and or house. All my doors are locked. So therefore, I live on a busy street where you have to leave the item on a step right in front of a busy street, knowing that people steal packages. Why would anybody do this? Why would you allow that to happen when it's not going to cost? It probably don't cost them shit to have signature confirmation, because I paid you for shipping. So you guys know what you do. But you know what a lot of people and a lot of people and companies do? They keep extra money in their pocket. So they get a certain amount of money for shipping on each item, and then what they do is, if the item if the item is shipped for less, they still keep that extra money, because I don't know, whatever. It's just it's disgusting, and I can't believe I probably spent about 40 minutes just on talking about this. But yo, like, you guys and girls out there need to know, man, be very, 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 very wary of Toy Scout 2. I'm going to say it again. That's toy, spelled Toy, Scout, SCOUT 2, as in number 2. All right? And that's all one word. Toy Scout 2. Not Toy Scout space 2. Toy Scout 2. They have 16,649 positive feedbacks. And they have a 99.9 feedback rating, which is impressive, especially with that kind of that magnitude of feedback. You know what I mean? That's impressive, man. But at the same time, I don't have a good experience, because I had to contact UPS myself. And I had to contact eBay for them to do claims on 2 other items. That way all 5 of my items are claimed. But it should just be one item anyway, considering that they all have the same tracking number. So that gives me the assumption that, okay, if they don't have different tracking numbers, that means they all came in the same package. So here it is, Saturday. I should be enjoying this stuff, and I already paid you guys over a week ago for my items, and I didn't get my items. Now I gotta wait until next Friday for them to give feedback and figure out what's going on before eBay gets involved. So it's just, and here it says top seller rate, one of eBay's most reputable sellers, consistently delivers outstanding customer service. That, I mean, like I said, there's always that little hitting thing. And I mean, it's not their fault that the item was stolen, because you got creeps and bastards that do shit like that. But the fact that you didn't communicate back with me, how hard is it to reply back? Hey, this person did pay for the item. It shows delivered. You know what? Let me see what's going on. Let me see how I can help them. Let me reassure them. Let me know that I care. All you give a fuck about is my money. You got the money. Fuck him. It shows delivered. Money, case closed. It is what it is. You can't. That's a fucked up way to do business and go about it. I would never buy. I don't care if they're selling the whole collection of high end, retro, vintage European GI Joes with vehicles for $250. I wouldn't buy them. I rather spend a couple $1,000s buying them off of other people. I would never buy nothing else from these people. And anybody know my money? Not only is my money not only is my money long, but I'm the kind of person, if I see something I like, I buy it. I don't give a fuck. And it's like they lost my business because, I'm the kind of person, I see something, I don't hesitate. I buy it, and if I really like it, I'll keep bidding on it because that's just me. And if I really like the seller, I prefer to put money in that person's pocket. I know I'm going to get my product, and I'm going to be happy, and they're going to be happy because, hey, you go on eBay to buy, and you go on eBay to sell. So the more shit you sell, more money you put in your pocket. More money you put in your pocket, the more other shit you can sell and post up, and then you might have the same person buying from you again. You constantly have customers, but when you fuck up that reputation, people don't understand. It doesn't matter if you're a multi-million-dollar company or not. You can't afford to lose a customer because customers can always go elsewhere, and people seem to forget that. They get too big for their fucking bridges, and they forget shit like that, and it's deplorable. On how I paid you guys over $400 for shit, over 5 items, and I didn't get it because you guys are too cheap and didn't go the right way on making sure that you guys put delivery confirmation on it. So this way, for a fact, hey, you know what? Let's make sure this person get the stuff. Because everybody and their mother know that you got porch thieves, or they got all types of names for these assholes who run around stealing packages. But you can't fucking hold me responsible because a carrier decided to leave the package there because you didn't do your fucking job as a seller to make sure that you fucking assholes turned around and put a signature confirmation on it. That ain't cool. You know what I mean? So that needs to be rectified. So again, to Toy Scout 2, 2 of these for y'all. And I hope you rub your chest in it. And, it is what it is. Hopefully I get my money back from eBay, and I will continue to make sure Facebook and eBay, YouTubers know. Maybe you might want to think twice before you buy anything from Toy Scout 2, or if you do, make sure that they go ahead and they refund you. And you get that delivery confirmation. At least make sure you do that, and hopefully, if you do that, maybe you get lucky enough to where your items don't come broken or they describe right, whatever. Because obviously, I'm reading you guys. You guys can look on eBay yourself and just type in Toy Scout 2, and you're gonna see the 16,600 and whatever feedback, and you're gonna see the negatives and positives. Again, the negatives and neutrals. I'm sorry, but again, the positives outweigh the neutrals and the negatives by miles, by city blocks when you think about it. You know what I mean? But again, you gotta be very wary, because sometimes, people use that shit to their advantage in a good and positive, a good and negative way too. So again, I'm upset because they didn't reply back to me, and I feel like at this point they're like, oh, fuck him. He paid $400. He paid his money for the stuff. Hey, it's show delivery. Case closed. You guys been up here long enough to know how the game works. You know how fucked up shit is, and you guys know that people like stealing packages. And it don't cost you shit to just sit here and reinsure me and say, hey, listen, we're gonna check in it. We're gonna see what we can do. You just said fuck it. We got his money and we running with it. That shit ain't cool. So anyway, be very careful out there, YouTubers and Facebookers, man. When you're dealing with people like this, be very careful because you got, just because somebody have good feedback don't mean they're not scumbags. Sometimes people just don't give a shit, and it doesn't matter if it's a newbie or an old school buyer. You always need, the more people you have, the more customers you have, the better your chances are of selling shit. Peace.